Hello, hello, hello. This is Leslie. This is our first um, podcast for Mallory's Place, and we're going to share a screen, and I'm going to show you. She's going to give her testimony, and then I'm going to jump in and continue for this podcast.
Hey y'all, it's me. I ain't got no one yet. See if we get anybody before I start talking. Now I can just make funny faces.
Is the camera quality okay?
Hey Jennifer, hey Sherry. Alright. So, I guess my addiction started, about at 17, right before my 18th birthday. I started out started smoking pot when I was younger. Almost every kid does it. Wasn't really my thing. Kept me down all the time. But right before my 18th birthday, I got in a humongous car accident and was on pain pills. My mom and dad would basically have to force the pain pills down my throat because I didn't like taking them. But for my 18th birthday, my parents stayed out of town for about basically the whole month of July. My parents were going places, not being home, and I was 17, so I was doing what I wanted to do. So, like any other teenage kid, I would have house parties. Well, the people I started hanging out with started doing ecstasy. And they're like, yeah, Mallerie, this is awesome, do it. And me, I was like, sure, why not? I'm scared to death that it was going to kill me. Nope, didn't kill me. So it became a weekly, almost nightly thing to be rolling at my mom's house. We lived in a double wide, y'all, and the streets were lined with people there. Packed full. Cops would come and I would run out in the woods because I didn't want to get in trouble even though it was my house. Ended up meeting a guy I ended up marrying, and he introduced me to a whole bunch of other things. Cocaine was one of them, and I remember I got pregnant in November with Aspen. And in February of 2006, I was working. Him and his best friend come to my work and said, we're going to Charlotte. I was like, okay, why? And they said to get some coke. I'm like, okay, I'm pregnant. Why do I want to go? I remember it like it was yesterday. He looked at me and said, honey, it's okay. Just a little bit won't hurt you. Well, knowing I'm pregnant, knowing I love my baby and care for my baby, the addiction, Satan, it took over. So, yeah, I did that little bit. So, it went from that little bit to here and there to every weekend to I remember sitting on the bed 6 months pregnant with my daughter and looking at my husband. Well, it wasn't my husband at the time, and saying, I have an addiction. I'm addicted to this cocaine. I couldn't stop. I couldn't. I went into labor with her, addicted. Never once failed a drug test. Thank God for that. Aspen was born, healthy as can be, no problems. Thank God. I thank God he gave me the vision of his shield around my womb. I ended up pregnant with Maddox. I found out I was pregnant with Maddox on December 2nd, 2007, or 2006. Higher than a kite. The day I went into the emergency room, Travis was supposed to be going to work that day. Didn't make, and I didn't want him to go. So I was like, oh, I can't breathe. You need to take me to the hospital. There was nothing wrong with me. I was just high and didn't want him to go to work, and I didn't want to be home alone. Well, they asked me to do a chest x-ray. Can you be pregnant? No, there's no way I can be pregnant. I have a 3-month-old at home. Well, pregnancy test come back pregnant. So, in my head as an addict, I didn't care. I went straight back to the house and was still using. Used my whole pregnancy with Maddox. Y'all, I'm shaking. This is hard for me, and I really hope y'all don't look bad on me. But I have to get this out there. It kills me as a mom to know that I used with my babies. My babies are my world. And I still thank God every day that there's nothing wrong with any of my children. I'm an addict. I've been an addict. My kids' life have been destroyed and have been hurt because of my addiction. Maddox was born perfectly fine. Everything was good with him. Continued to use coke for a little bit. That ended. Ended up getting sober for a little bit, and then started doing a pain pill. 1 week in here, 1 week in there, and that pain pill addiction got me. I remember pain pill addiction got me so bad that I ended up stealing checks from my mom's business and writing them out. Now I have charges. I have a forging and uttering of forged instrument charges because of my pill addiction. Because I didn't have the money, so I stole, checks from her work. Well, my mom's like, "Oh, are you on cocaine?" And I was like, "No, I'm on pills." My mom's like, "Pills?" And I said, "Yeah, the expensive ones." No lie. Pills are expensive. Drugs are expensive. Ended up this was after I got married. I remember telling Travis, I'm sorry I'm putting his name out there, but he's part of my life. I remember telling Travis, let's get sober, let's not be married sober. We stopped at the gas station right before our wedding reception to get pain pills. That's what I love Travis as the father of my children, but that's all our relationship ever was drugs. That's all that ever can be. Even when I see him today, it's drugs, drugs, drugs. Back in 2013, I ended up kicking him out of our apartment because I kept finding needles. And I said, "Look, you gotta go. You have to. You gotta go. I can't do this no more." Hold up, let me rewind a little bit. October 2011, I entered into the methadone clinic for my pain pill addiction. It's one of the worst and the best things that's happened to me. It was good because I got off of my pain pills, but it's worse because I lost myself and who I was. I literally slept all day. I would not clean. I gained so much weight, I didn't want to do nothing. Poor Aspen will tell you she was basically a mom because I would get up, get them ready for school, take them to school, go get my dose at the clinic, come home, sleep, pick them up from school, cook them dinner, and go back to bed. Because that's all I wanted to do was sleep. My house got disgusting. A couple times I was in jail, I had to have my mom, my best friend, and my Aunt Ann and Uncle Wayne come and clean my house for me because it was that bad. I ended up losing my apartment. Me and Aspen and Maddox did, and moved in with my mom. I was still at the methadone clinic, and my probation was coming up of ending it. And I had 15 days left of jail to do or all this money to pay. So I had to do my 15 days in jail just to end my probation, which I did it, and I was still on my methadone. So I come off my methadone cold turkey in jail, which was awful and hard to do. And when I got out, I just wanted to get high. In my head, I was like, I'm off this methadone, I can get high. I actually went to the clinic to see if I could re-enter, but I have to start all over. And that's just a whole bunch of craziness that I didn't want to do. And I was with Travis. and he was given some money to be able to get us a place to live and all that so we could start our family because he wasn't living with me and our kids. That didn't happen. I mean, honestly, he ran off with a girl for a week. And by the time I got with him, he had hardly no money. And my mom's like, you know what? It's time for Travis to be the man and take care of you and your kids like a husband should, like a father should. So no, you can't come home. I was scared because I literally was homeless. So the kids stayed with me and Travis for a couple days between my best friend's house and a hotel room. And I called my mom and said, Mom, can you please take Aspen to Maddox? Because I know I can't do it. Because in this time I started, as much as I hated needles, and I even kicked my husband out of my home for needles, I started to shoot up because all I wanted to do was get high to numb the pain of everything that I've dealt with and felt. I remember calling her like yesterday, Mom, can you please take Aspen to Maddox for me? So that they have a home, because they don't deserve this. My kids have been through so much in their life. They've seen so much from me and their father. I mean, that they didn't need anything else to distract them or to hurt them. So Mom and them went through DSS, so no, I don't have custody of Aspen and Maddox until I can fully get my life together. My mom and dad do, and I thank God every day for them, because they've given them a life that I could not give them at that time. When I signed the papers, when me and Travis signed the papers to my mom, my life spiraled worse. I mean, I was shooting meth so much. Hanging out with people that I'd never in my life hang out with, that I can't stand to this day. Moving in with people that I hate. Just had a place to stay, turning my back on my best friend, who's been there for me and through me through everything. Just to get high. I mean, I turned my back on everybody just for that little high. I mean, and I have bad veins, y'all. And for me to be an IV addict is crazy. Because, I mean, y'all should see the sores, the bruises, bumps, the abscesses. I mean, it's awful. I mean, it's crazy. I ended up meeting somebody after, because I left Travis in March of 2015. Ended up meeting somebody that's Gregson's dad, and he was all new to this, all this dope stuff and that, and I kind of got him in deep into it, which I regret today. But that was my life, and he wanted to be a part of my life, and that's what I knew right then and there, was hustling and the street life and being this and being that, which ain't shit. I mean, I'd rather be a stay-at-home mom, a working mom, the mom that God created me to be, because I know it's me. This street Mallerie ain't Mallerie. And I know some of y'all are watching, y'all know who I am, and y'all know the amazing person that I am, and I've lost sight of that girl. But she's coming back. But anyways, I ended up pregnant with Gregson, 2 years ago. Did good being sober quite a bit through that pregnancy. But, I mean, I messed up every now and then. I'm not proud of it. I messed up the night before I went in to be adduced. I begged and pleaded. I said, please don't get nothing. Please don't get no dope. I'm not strong enough to say no. So please don't get none. Don't have it around me. Well, it was around me, and I'm telling y'all, I laid in bed for 5 hours, praying God take the urge from me. I ended up snorting a line this big, itty bitty line, I was like, I'm going to be fine. Me as an addict, I already peed before I did it because I knew my pee was clean. Being stupid, knowing that they do your blood work. And I failed my drug test at the hospital for Gregson. So me and Jerry couldn't take Gregson out of the hospitals ourselves. His parents had to. We had to sign guardianship over right then to his parents. So I lost Aspen. I didn't lose Aspenomatics, and I haven't lost Gregson. I'm on my way of working of getting them back. I mean, y'all who have your kids every day, that's a blessing. I can see Aspen. I can see my kids every day. But I can't just take them and do whatever I want. I can't just take them and take them to the beach. I'm not on their paperwork where I can do stuff, but I'm their mother. I carried them babies for 9 months. I love them babies more than I've loved anything in the world. I'm not there at night to hold them and to hug them. I'm not in bed with them to wake them up to take them to school. December 30th of last year, I ended up getting in a physical altercation where my phone, Facebook, called my mom. And I thank God that it did. Because if it didn't, I'd be dead right now. My mom and my dad had to hear me screaming for my life, pleading for help. Save me. I'm dying, save me. Because I was getting beat. I was getting choked and suffocated so bad where I couldn't breathe, and I was begging for help. Not knowing that my phone was calling my mom. I was higher than a kite, coming down. Stayed high for a few days. Because that's how I knew how to cope. January 11th, I decided to go to rehab. I went into detox. It's an injury. Was there for 5 days. Got out, started going to the COG, which is outpatient rehab. It was awesome. I did great. I got up to 120 days sober. And one weekend, went out with the wrong people. Started, hey, you want to do a line? Ah, yeah, one line ain't gonna hurt. One line ain't gonna hurt. One line hurted my whole life. I was 1 week away from having full custody of Gregson. And I threw it all away for that one line. This that one time. They said that one time can be your last time. Because right after that one line, after a shooter, a line or hitting a bowl or anything like that, that don't work. You want it in that rig and you want it in your veins. So, what do? I get a rig, get a shot, have somebody hit me in my vein. Y'all, to me, I find it funny. Y'all may not find it funny, but to me, to know where I was and to who I was, and I literally thought I overdosed and died. I stripped down butt naked because I was burning up. I was laying on the floor begging for my phone so I got one text out, and that was from my best friend Julie saying, thank you, I love you, thank you for always being there. But begging for my phone because I stood straight up and said, I gotta get some clothes on. Because God said he ain't gonna take me naked. But no one would give me my phone because I wanted to call my mom. I wanted to call my brothers. I wanted to call my children. I wanted to call everybody and tell them goodbye because in my head I was ODing. Because I ain't never been that high in my whole life. And I always said, if I start using again after being clean so long, I'm going to OD. I didn't die. God has me here for a reason. I don't know if tonight this is my reason. I don't know if somebody needs to hear this. But yes, I struggle every day. Every day I wake up, I struggle. I mean, I've used on and off, but I always come back clean, and somehow I always end up at my best friend's house. She always takes me back in. You know, I mean, I love them, like my friend, like Taylor. She's seen me through it all. I mean, that's one of my best friends. That's my best friend's daughter. I mean, they've seen me at my worst. I mean, and they've seen me at my best. But my mom and my best friend Julie and her mom Diane, I mean, they truly are my biggest supporters. I mean, and I don't want to upset anybody else. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a little bit since I've used, you know, and I'm telling you, us addicts, we have it hard every day. I mean, we wake up, we fight for our lives. I mean, we fight not to use. We fight not to go around people that we used with, to not to go places. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I've been at my mom's before and seen pill bottles and the thing, and I had to shut a cabinet quickly. I mean, it's hard. I mean, and everyone's like, well, how could you do that with your kids? You know what? When you use and you're an addict, nothing else matters. That addiction takes over your whole life. I love my kids more than anything in the world, and my kids are having the best life and will have the best life. Yeah, they may not be in my soul care, but their mommy's in their life every day. I talk to my kids every day. My mom knows that if I don't call, there's something wrong. My sister-in-law, Miranda, she won't even answer the phone at night because she's afraid that it's going to be a phone call for me. But I'm here to tell y'all, Mallory's going to make it. I'm going to move mountains. My testimony is going to save millions. Because God has a place for me. God has a way for me. And God is going to use me. This addiction, this meth, these pills, this heroin, this pot, this whatever, that ain't got nothing on my God. My God is everything. And my God is in me every day. I don't lay my head down at night without thanking God, thanking me for a new day. Even on days that I have slipped up and used, I still praise and thank Him because I'm still breathing. I mean, I really don't know what else to say to y'all. I mean, I just want to say thank you. I love you. Y'all keep praying for me. And pray for addicts. And y'all don't just judge an addict. If y'all know addicts, or, you know an addict, or, know of an addict, or hear something, you don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they go through. Because it sucks. I've been homeless. I've had to live in a building in the middle cold. I mean, not eating for weeks. I mean, I've done that. I mean, I'm 30 years old. I'm so happy that I made it to 30 years old, because there for a little bit I didn't think I'd see 30. But you know what? I had a mom who prayed for me. And my mom has prayed over me every day and every night. Even though I've stolen from her, I've lied to her, I've cheated my mom, but you know what? My mom has been there. My mom is my rock, my everything. I could call my mom at 3 o'clock in the morning with a craving or wanting something, and she would be there to pray and talk me through it. Y'all need people like that in your life if you're an addict. Or be that person for an addict. We need someone. Just one person to care. I've been going around telling people, Merry Christmas. And Taylor keeps saying, like, why you keep telling people Merry Christmas? I said, you never know. I might be their only kind word that they get today. Only kind word that they get to see today. And one thing my kids do know about my addiction and what I've done, because I've had to hear my son ask me why I gave up on him. I never gave up on my kids. I gave my kids the best of anything. Because I couldn't give it to them at all. My mom and dad are giving my kids the best. They may not have the newest stuff or stuff like that. But you know what? they have love. And they have love from their mother. And I know their father loves them. I'm not even getting into that subject. But my parents didn't have to take my kids in. They could have been in the system. So, Mom, if you're watching, I love you and thank you. You don't hear it enough, Mom. You're such an awesome mom, and I thank you so much. And Mike, I thank you. I thank my brother and my sister-in-law so much for being there for me and not giving up on me and being there for my kids. I can't do this alone. We're not meant to fight this battle alone. If it wasn't for my family, I still wouldn't be here today. And if it wasn't for a good friend of mine, Jody, I wouldn't even have half the crap I have. Jody supports me and supports me in all I do. But I just want to tell you, my family, my friends, thank you. I don't know who this is for tonight or why I was so compelled to do this. Mommy is a little bit of my story. But I am sober. I've messed up probably twice since September. I mean, I may mess up and use one day and then it's done and then something will happen. But it's nothing like I was because before January 11th of last year, I know y'all don't probably know the amount, but I was using a tank to an 8-ball of dope every day or two. Y'all had a life planned. I didn't want a broken marriage. I didn't want to have, 2 baby daddies. You know what? But someone's going to love me one day. And someone's going to love me for this beautiful person that I am. And that I become. And going to love all my scars. And they're going to love my past. And they're going to love my beautiful children. I just pray and hope y'all have a blessed night. Hope this helps someone.
Well. That is Mallory's story. Now we're going to tell you my story. And as soon as it pulls up, I know I've got it written down because it just is what it is. Hi, I'm Mallory's mom. My name's Leslie Holbert, mother of Mallerie and grandmother of Mallorie's children. We have custody of 2 of them for 10 years now. On March 3rd at 5:30 a.m., I got a call that I thought I would be exempt from. I had begged God to deliver her from addiction, those sleepless nights and praying nights over Mallorie's protection and deliverance. The call came from the hospital and said, "You need to come, your daughter is here." So our beautiful Mal was brain dead from an overdose. Saturday at 5:23 p.m., they pronounced her dead. Since then, we have had custody of her youngest son, too. The addiction has affected the whole family, from brothers, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts and cousins. Drug addiction, any addiction, needs a voice and a place where people can come to be safe and find hope. Mallorie's Place was born March 7th, 2024, a place refreshing, a place to retreat to so families and individuals can come and be refueled, recharged, to go back out and fight the fight against addiction, grief, stress, depression, divorce, sexual abuse, childhood trauma, domestic violence in their lives. I have found out recently at Mallorie's Celebration of Life that many had stated Mallerie was the reason they were clean now. She did not give up on them and had saved their lives when they overdosed. She had used Narcan and brought a couple of them back. So at Mallorie's Place, we will carry on that attitude by being a beacon of hope for families facing adversity and love and serve others. Welcome to Mallorie's Place. Love, Leslie, Mallorie's mom. And that is why we do what we do and why we're doing support groups, and we are going to do events in the future, and we are going to in the fall start a children's support group. So I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for listening. Why we do what we do, and welcome to Mallory's Place. I love you all. Have a great day.